And welcome back to Out of the Bag. This is Sean Maguire live on People's Internet Radio. That's www.peoplesinternetradio.com, where we are seeking solutions. And I have some fantastic news that I have on the line. Chris Spivey, are you with me?
Hello, Sean. All right.
Oh, fantastic to hear your voice, my friend. What a horrible situation from 2 a.m. this morning. Chris, will you tell us all about it?
Before that, mate. Before that, it's about quarter past one, 20 past one, something like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
Knock on the door, and 4 coppers. It wasn't 6. I don't know where 6 came from. It was 4 coppers. There, they asked to come in. I said, "You got a warrant?" He said, "No." So they arrested me and entered under pace and said they're going to do a search. So under section 30. Hang on, just get it. Section 32. Now they was very aggressive, and at first they wouldn't let me see what section 32 was.
Right.
But when I insisted, they showed me, and they have no power of search under section 32 unless it's an indictable crime, which harassment isn't.
Right.
So they didn't know the law themselves, which is against the law. They went away and made a phone call and said, yes, they are allowed to do it, which they're not. And I said, I've got the paperwork here. I put in a complaint anyway. That's got to be followed up. But they said you do it 2 ways. We can take you down to the station and search the place while you're not here, or we can search the place while you're here. So I had no choice really, Sean. That's what it's come to me these days.
Chris, did you open the door to them, or did they kick it in?
No. I opened the door, sort of stepped outside, and they said, can we come in? I said, no. Right. So they said, well, we'll arrest you. And they cautioned me and that. And then they came in and said they're going to search the place under Section 32 of PACE, which I objected to strongly. I think, but they was very aggressive. My daughter was very upset, and my young grandson was in his car at the time. I mean, it's a stupid time to come around anyway, Sean, isn't it?
Oh my God! I mean, they just wanted to, that's how they do it. That's what they want. They want you to be asleep in your bed, or an easy job for them. Yeah,
well, and like I say, I've already complained. I've now got to go to the Independent Police Complaint Commission, but how we get on, I don't know, mate.
So, did they charge you with anything?
I haven't been charged with anything yet, no. I'm on bail till September the 5th, I think. But no, but I was arrested for harassment.
So at least the information going out that you were arrested for harassment is true. Yeah.
Although when it came to the questioning, they was sort of going all over the place. But they were CID. The delay was they didn't know whether to have the Greater Manchester Police do the interview or Essex Police. In the end, Essex Police did it. But they was just delaying me. They kept me lying as long as possible,
Yeah.
They don't want me have a fake, Sean. What's it all about?
Do you know, look, let's just, there's a lot of listeners who might not have even heard of you, Chris, okay? We have people all over the world listening into this show, as lucky as we are. Let me say something, and this isn't to butter you up or to, boost anyone's ego or anything, but Chris has got a website that everybody should check out. I think you need to have a certain temperament. There's a bit of swearing in it, and it's an adult site talking about adult things.
Swearing never hurt anyone, Sean.
Exactly. Well, listen, it's a bit of honesty there. I feckin' love it. Okay. So let me tell you, this man has balls of steel. Okay, he came out of the woodwork, if you like, absolutely balls out, absolutely fighting. I mean, but one thing I really want to say that comes across very, very much all the way through his exposing of disgusting and despicable acts and lies and cheating and paedophile rings and, mainstream media bullshit, this guy still is an honourable and humble man. And Chris, you're so welcome to Out of the Bag.
Thank you. One time, one special, and I don't know about balls of steel, but
yeah, you got him. You got
I'm
him.
angry, mate. I'm angry.
Nah, you got him. And, if you put Bill Maloney and you together in the same room, I don't know, I'm fucking hell, who do we listen to?
Yeah. I was speaking to Bill just last week, nice fella, nice fella.
Absolutely, absolutely, and those that have, I'm over in Ireland, so I don't even look at your stuff. Haven't met you. I know people who do know you.
Don't look at my stuff, Sean. How do you mean you don't look at my
No,
stuff?
that's all I do is look at your stuff. I
Oh,
haven't
right. I'm
I
sorry,
haven't
yeah.
the opportunity
No.
to meet you personally, and that's quite rare for some of my guests as well. I usually meet my guests and know them very well. Chris, I don't know where to start. Do we talk about today's episodes? I mean, how's your daughter, Stacey, your daughter, and were there other people?
Obviously she's been very upset, Sean. I mean, she's only 18 herself, and not used to having 4 policemen invade space at 1:30 in the morning,
No,
I say
absolutely.
they was very aggressive. They was aggressive to her as well.
Really?
Absolutely disgusting. One of them was about 4'10". And you know what they're like when they're with them, mate. They're just bully boys, Sean. I say they was very, very rude. They did an illegal search, and I'm not going to let them get away with it.
No, absolutely, and the support you have got, Chris, is amazing because
Absolutely fantastic, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, overwhelmed. I
Yeah.
haven't even finished reading all the comments yet. I didn't get until nearly 8:30.
No,
So,
I'm absolutely amazed that you're here, and anytime you want to bow out, just say so, man. You've got enough on your plate than coming on a bloody radio show.
well, it's an easy way to let everyone know I'm all right, Sean, isn't it?
It is, and it's a platform to let people know that these paid thugs, because that's what they are.
They are indeed. I say that, nothing but rudeness. They tried intimidating me, failed miserably. I say, but when you're left with a choice of either being carted off down the station and then searching your home, or being in the home while they're searching it, then there's only one choice, really, isn't there? But I say there's no doubt that the search was illegal. Section 32, and the box is ticked here. I've got the paperwork in front of me. They're allowed to search me, which I had no objections to, but they're not allowed to search any property unless the offence is an indictable offence, which harassment isn't.
Okay, explain the harassment situation. Who are they saying you
I
harassed?
can't, because of the bail condition, Sean. I can't talk too much about it. But basically they're saying that I'm harassing the Rigby's, which is total bollocks.
Okay.
I've written over 100,000 words on the Woolwich hoax, and maybe 15,000 of them deal with the Rigby's. So how that can be harassment, I've got no idea, mate.
No, absolutely.
It's on my website anyway. To harass them, don't you have to go and follow them about and make a nuisance of yourself?
Yeah, you didn't stalk them or anything, or give them hassle in their local pub.
No, I say that there's nothing in there that's not in the public domain.
Okay. Well, look, so many people love you, and so many people are offering, words of wisdom and words of comfort, etc. And Chug in the chat room is saying, now, we have a live chat room here, Chris, so they're able to give comments and ask you questions and all the rest of it. So obviously I'll pass them on to you. But Chug says, ask Chris if he knows Dave Eden. Now, I've met Dave over in England, actually.
I do know him, yes.
Okay, from the community press group, and he's a good man to help with complaints about police. So maybe that's a port of call, if not one of them.
I say it's not having been in too long and still catching up with everything, Sean. I haven't decided exactly what to do yet. I say I haven't even finished reading all the messages and whatnot.
Yeah, okay.
Fantastic support, mate. Really, really took me by. I mean, I knew I have a large following, obviously, but the support has just been fantastic, mate. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. If I had that much support, I'd be very emotional at the moment. So I understand where you're sitting and where where you are. So, Chris, are we allowed to talk about the hoax, the Woolwich hoax?
Well, he said I'm not allowed, according to the bail conditions. Let me have a look. According to my bail conditions, I'm no contact with any member of the Rigby family. Well, I never did.
Right.
Never did. Not to publish any communication via any website or through any social media with regards to Lee Rigby or his family. I don't know whether that means I can talk about them or not. The Woolwich hoax I can certainly talk about without talking about Lee Rigby.
Absolutely, because it could have been any hero, they called him. It could be any member of the military that they wanted to get rid of in this hoax, couldn't it?
Yeah, and there's no doubt that it was a hoax, Sean. You've only got to look at the video evidence. And actually, talking about Dave Eden, when I spoke to Dave Eden, he was I can't remember exactly when he was. It must be about 6 months ago when I spoke to him. He wanted to film it because I was talking to him about a court case, and putting forward various things like witness statements being read out, which are obviously false and whatnot. Will it be able to go ahead in a proper court? Because I don't know if you know or not, Dave used to collect evidence for court cases when he was with the police.
Yeah.
And he said definitely not. And he was quite interested in filming it, which would involve me going into a police station and putting forward my evidence,
Right, okay.
But I mean, the two robots that I was talking to today from CID, they totally believe it was a real event and was having nothing of it. It got quite heated actually at one stage.
Well, they probably still believe 9/11 was.
They do. They're just dumb as they come, mate. Dumb as they come. You can see that the eyes go blank and it's just robotic repeating.
Absolutely.
Not interested in solving the crime. Just perpetrating the myth.
I'm being asked who made the complaint.
Well, I wasn't actually told.
You weren't told?
No, because I did say, I'm not harassing anybody, but if anything I've said's untrue, people are willing, are quite entitled to sue me for libel, Yet no one has, Dave. Sean, no one has,
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, why haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Surely you would have heard bits and bobs and been told to shut up earlier on before a fucking arrest takes place.
Well, like I say, mate, it's not me who went quiet. I've invited everybody involved in the hoax. Amy West. I'm allowed to talk about Amy West. Don't say I can't talk about Amy West anyway. They're quite welcome to get in touch with me. But they haven't. Their silence speaks volumes. Obviously, they have the full attention of anyone, of everybody anyway, so there's no saying that, well, they didn't know they could get told or whatever, or I'm worth getting in touch with. Do you know what I mean? Because that simply isn't true. So their silence speaks volumes, really, mate.
It does. Listen, I've been arrested myself a few times, and did they do the old handcuffs too tight stuff?
They didn't. No, they didn't even handcuff me, mate. They was a bit sneaky though. They parked around the corner in case we looked out the window, so we'll be able to see the cars. There's two cars, and I say they've taken my computers quite illegally.
So that's theft.
It is theft, yeah. And I say Section 32, which now they're trying to say it's Section 19, but I say I have the authority to search here, and the Section 32 box is ticked. And I say they didn't want to show me it at first.
They're not very clever, are they?
They're not, sorry, mate?
They're not very clever, are they?
No, but when I did finally, when he half showed me it, straight away I cottoned onto it. That under Section 32 they're allowed to search me, but not any premises unless it's an indictable crime, which I say harassment isn't. And I pointed this out to them, and one of them went away and makes his secret phone calls, and he said, we spoke to the sergeant, and yes, we are allowed to. So I said, well, let me speak to the sergeant, and you can speak to him down the station. Uncooperative.
Yeah, and they were also uncooperative with anybody who wanted to know how you were doing and where you were, and all the rest of it.
So I hear, yeah, especially my daughter.
Yeah.
I say they wouldn't even let me out for a cigarette. You know, I've just been in a cell since about 4:30 this morning. Um, until they let me out at the time that was 6, 7 o'clock, something like that. And I say, you know, I wasn't allowed any fresh air or nothing, not even a fag.
Right. Do they feed you?
They offered me, but they could call me Mr. Paranoid.
Yeah, and I know what their tea's like.
I wasn't having nothing they was up for giving me, mate.
Yeah. No worries about that. Listen, yeah, let's enamour you with the Irish listeners here. I'm going to change the subject a little bit and get you to relax a wee bit. Give us your views on the royal family, Chris.
I can't stand them, mate. I can't stand them. A bunch of parasites, aren't they? Well, it's like I say to anybody who sort of sticks up for them. You know, she's been on the throne over 60 years. What has she ever done for her subjects? You know, and people go, oh, she brings lots of money into the country. Well, people have still come for the tourism. You know, they don't come expecting to see the Queen. They come to see the palaces and you know the beef eaters and whatnot. And they don't come expecting to see the Queen. So if we had away with the monarchy, all that would still be there anyway, mate, and it would be a damn sight cheaper than what these parasites are costing us, because they're costing us millions, and all they're doing is, well, they are evil, mate, aren't they? And why the police haven't been to their door? I mean, can you imagine if I was photographed with every paedophile that's been nicked? You know, and in the case of Jimmy Savile, Prince Charles' face is an absolute delight, you know, to see him. Can you imagine if me or you or anybody else was pictured, but all these paedophiles were getting nicked and wasn't so much as asked about his activities, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, obviously we don't want ad hominem and all the rest of it, and we know that you shouldn't just say someone's a bad guy because they're with someone else who's a bad guy. That's obviously not meant to be done.
Well, you can say, but you know, if you lay down with dogs, you get a bad name, Sean, don't you?
You choose your friends, don't you? And you leave the ones that are
You do. Of
scum
course you do.
behind. Yeah.
And there's no way that they couldn't have known, because you can't get close to the royal family if you aren't seriously vetted, you know, and background checks and whatnot. Now, in the case of Jimmy Savile, it was known about it was known about him in the late 1950s. So there's no way that they couldn't have known. Yeah, I say you see photos, and best of times that they look as miserable as sin. But you know, when meeting Jimmy Savile and what, Charles can hardly contain his delight, shall we say?
and also, I mean, the Canadian trips that the Queen has had, and children going missing and all the rest of it, and the fact that Jimmy Savile was possibly, you know, we can't say he was, but possibly procuring children for the royal family themselves, it doesn't smack good for their future on their throne, does it?
It doesn't, no, but I say people are brainwashed, aren't they, Sean? You know, like I say, just like these two CID fellas, they wasn't interested in what I had to say about it, or the evidence that I can put forward. You know, and people just switch off, and they're blinkered, and you know they wave their stupid little flags at them, and think they're great, and think they're doing everything for us. Well, they're making millions out of the depleted uranium industry, you know, and our soldiers are starting to feel the effects of this depleted uranium now, you know, which is going to, in the near future, is really going to skyrocket. But you take Iraq, you know, the babies that are being born by the hundreds of thousands, you know, with deformities and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this depleted uranium, which is used in shells, it never goes away, mate, you know? Never goes away. Yeah, they're making millions out, and politicians as well. They've all got their little fingers in this pie, this lucrative pie. And there's nothing gracious or noble about that whatsoever, mate.
No, and maybe now that people are speaking out and they're willing to be brave enough and warrior-like enough to tell the truth and to say, look, I'm a human being, I don't think this should be happening on our planet. They're getting scared now, aren't they? And they're doing things like knocking on people's doors at 1 a.m. and arresting people just for speaking the truth.
No, yeah, and when did speaking the truth become a crime, mate? And if people, even if they don't buy into what I say, if people think that 4 policemen banging on your door at 1:15 in the morning when you've got a 1-year-old asleep in a cot and searching the premises, being noisy, slamming doors and whatnot, having the dogs barking, anyone who thinks that's right, just for writing what I do on my own website, not on other people's website. I don't force anybody to read my website. I don't advertise my website. People, other sites do pick up on it and use my stuff. Yeah, but I don't ask them to. So to think that people can just do that, and be allowed to get away with it and feel that is normal, then, mate, they're in for a right old rude awakening very soon.
They certainly are. And the thing is, they are conditioned into thinking all this is normal. I mean, I was talking to Vin, who runs this radio station, Chris, and, they're walking around with their bulletproof vests around the place, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a second, where's mine? If it's that bad out there, surely, and we're paying for yours, where's mine?
Yeah. Exactly, and I say they're bully boys and they don't know the law. So when I pulled them about this Section 32, they didn't know. So they tried bust here, and I said, no, I'm not having it. This is illegal. It's illegal. So one of them goes away and has to phone up to ask. Well, surely they should know that before they get here.
Of course they should. I mean, you'd think anyone doing any job would know their onions, whatever it may be. I mean, if you're stacking shelves, you know what fucking goes where.
If you're going to quote the law at somebody, Sean, then you need to know what that law is. And they didn't. None of the 4 knew.
No.
And I say, then they came back with Section 19 then. But I wasn't arrested under Section 19, and it quite clearly states here what I was arrested under, and the authority to search under Section 32. So, they can Section 19 up there. I haven't even read what Section 19 is yet, but that's not what I was arrested for, mate. But that they used to search the premises. And I say I've got that right here in front of me. So I'm not going to let it drop, mate. Anyway,
no, absolutely,
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it makes me sound like a dangerous criminal. 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, well, tell us about some other little media shithole that tells you that you're a dangerous person. This, what is it? The Sun newspaper?
Well, once again, Sean, I can't talk because that's with the Press Complaints Commission.
Oh no!
So I'm not allowed to go. I'm not allowed to go into details of that because of I said because it's going through the process. So, but obviously, the Sun did a hat-trick job on me.
Yeah, Pete Mack in the chat room says, Spivey, like Vin, always gives links to where he got his info from, so not just hearsay.
No, of course it's not. And I was saying this to the 2 robots today, but they just don't want to know. People don't want to know. Now, it's fair to say that I have had a lot of attention of late, via the Sun and the police and whatnot, and on things that have been left about the Woolwich hoax. People are saying, they want stringing up and whatnot, and give me 5 minutes in a room alone with them, and and all this, and then as soon as my readers sort of go on there and put my website forward and whatnot, and read the truth and that, no one's got any comeback. No one has got a comeback on it, Sean, because what I put forward about the hoax is indisputable, mate, and I say it's all sourced.
Yeah, we just want people to wake up to it.
But they don't, do they? They don't, and I say, just these two bods today, they just didn't want to know, and they're meant to be detectives, intent on solving crime, but they had, they had no interest in what I had to say about it. None at all. So, then that's the kind of mentality you're dealing with, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen, Chris, before this this happened, you're not going to believe this, but I've had it happen twice before that a guest coming on my show was arrested. Okay, so I hope it's not us. Okay, and on
Yeah.
and on top of that, they were released in time to come on. You're the first that's actually, ended up coming on a bit late.
Yeah, well, I say I'm finding myself, mate. Take more than them to get me down. I'm just sorry that I wasn't here to start the show, but
Oh my God, I think you had a bit of an excuse, didn't you?
well, yeah, they didn't even give me a lift home, Sean. What's that all about?
Oh yeah, I love that. I mean, I remember the harassment. I'd love to do them for harassment. I lived in England, Chris, and I went through the Thatcher years, okay? And
Yeah.
I was quite involved with a lot of things, which is why I'm now a radio presenter in Ireland. And I remember being, picked up and then driven a long distance, and then picked up by another van, and then driven another long distance, dumped off in the middle of nowhere, and told it never happened. So
Yeah,
I was.
I say at one stage I wasn't sure whether I was going to Manchester today or not.
Yeah.
So they're just arseholes, mate. They are proper arseholes. I say that it's not about solving crime or seeing justice done. It's about the police state, and the fear factor.
Yeah.
But I'm not scared of them, mate. They don't scare me. They didn't scare me last night. They didn't scare me today. And I'm not scared of them now, mate. They can go and fuck themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And